We're going to talk about the 3-year-olds as we continue on our videos. I'm heading to the Meadowlands to stop in and talk to Mark today after his accident the other night. And had a little bit of lunch in Middletown. That's where it is, Middletown. And now we're on our way to the Meadowlands. Now, I haven't been to the Meadowlands very much over the past few years. Once or twice. But flew in, raced, and left. And if you've ever been to the Meadowlands, they had that giant structure not far from MetLife Stadium, and it was a part of a bigger complex that was never completed, and it was my understanding anyway it's completed. It's a gigantic mall, so we're going to head over to the mall. Amy loves to go to the mall and just walk around aimlessly.
Especially on a Saturday.
Especially on a Saturday after a gigantic football game. Yeah. So we're going to walk around. There's roller coasters and stuff in there for the kids too. So that's where we're headed right now in the afternoon. I did want to go over the 3-year-olds with you. What do we got? Admiral Doo should be in this week. I know he missed a week. This is 2 weeks in a row. Adeline Hope. Okay, well, you're going to have to turn it off for a minute then. Admiral Doo, now this is twice. He's raced 2 weeks and then 2 weeks. You know, it's becoming a problem where... And I have to take note of this. I don't remember like this last fall. Some horses were tough to get in, but now that the stakes are over, it should be easier to get in than every 2 weeks. Now, he will be in this week coming, and if he's not in the week after, then I'll have... Addie! Shh, baby. So, Admiral Doo, honey, you gotta take your earphones off. You can't hear anybody. We're trying to help you do it. You're not listening. Admiral Doo now, 2 weeks. We have to get him in every week. That's just at least.
Have like a pop-up series.
Now you'd think they would. You'd think they have something.
Last year.
They don't have one now. They have like the snowshoe or something, which now was a 30. You know how tough that's going to be. A bunch of grassroots horses that were tough all year. So Admiral Doo, we'll see. I'll talk to Harry a little bit more, but he will be in this coming week. Next, Arson has been absolutely fantastic. He races in the final coming up a week from this Tuesday. Are all the finals in Corbin. You know, I was not excited, but interested to go back to Corbin because it's such a beautiful place. But I'm not going to even get there in 2024. So I guess we'll put that on the calendar for 2025. Arson races a week from Tuesday. Honey, will you turn that down, Eddie Bear? A week from Tuesday in Corbin. Next. Casanova Hall was awesome the other night. Continues to be awesome. You know, was a winner with the earplugs in, wrapped up, and I laughed. Aaron made a little break around the last turn. I was outside second. He put his horse, put a step in, and made a break. He came back trotting, and I beat him a half length. And he'd won 8 races already on the card. It was going to be his 9th win. And he said, "Ah!" And I looked and I said, "You're never going to beat this horse anyway." It was 1,000,000% chance. But he was good. He's been good. You can tell his confidence is growing. He's sharp. He's feeling good. He's attentive. But he's not hot like he was before. And that was just, I told you guys before, that was merely born from frustration, his frustration. And we've helped him out in that regard. So I think Casanova Hall, it's full speed ahead for him. Next. Chime Bell is in the sale on Monday. And all these horses, I'll be keeping an eye on. I'm not giving any of them away. Chime Bell has some bids right now on her. I think she might be our only horse that has bids on at this point, I think. I didn't look that close. But Chime Bell raced okay the other day. The problem is, and Amy had asked me, just bought her. I did. But if she can't do the numbers from 4 up to 7 consistently, and get in consistently, then it's a problem. And both of those are she's a little soft for the meaty part of the Melbourne as a 7. Took her over to the Meadows. Just had to race against a filly that Butter and Syrup, who raced in the Sire Stakes all year, and the good filly of Burke's on the rail. They're just going about 54, 55. So it's just a little tough for her over there, and can't get in regularly in Northfield. So it's either wait or potentially move her. And you know, there's a filly there that would crush at Saratoga. So we have options, and if we have to utilize them, we will. But I opted to simply test free agency with her first. She's in the sale on Monday. Drebin was awesome last night. He too is in the sale on Monday. A horse that should sell, but may not. I'm telling you, I can't get a handle on the market right now. It's as we head into Harrisburg, it's been flat for a few weeks now. It's been flat, and I don't know how that's going to translate to Monday. Is it just a bad time before Harrisburg, or a flat part of the season? You get those in racing and in sales, and we'll see how Drebin is. I know what he's worth. I know what we're gonna retain him for, and we'll see if we get it or not. George, the Jungle has been good. A winner, picked to win on Tuesday, and is in the right spot and lucked into being able to fit a series as soon as he get over here. So he starts that series on Tuesday. Hallie in the Clouds. Her knees are still bothering her quite a bit. We're going to do our best to patch her up and get her raced through December into that sale season, into that sale portion where we have the fillies. They're all in at the Mount Hope sale on December the 18th, 17th or 18th, and Hallie will be in that sale. I'm Fancy Like is on her way back to Ohio very soon. Jason plans on racing her Saturday night at Northfield Park. Just got off to a great start at Yonkers and then stumbled a bit, made a break, got out of gear, and just not in a great spot right now. It happens. We're not going to continue to double and triple down on that. We're going to bring her back and race her into space. Hopefully she can do it Northfield. If she can't, then we'll make a decision after that. But for right now, we'll let this play out. We'll move her back to Ohio and race her next Saturday at Northfield Park. Insider trading. Trained good the other day. Has had a horrible sophomore year. An absolutely horrible sophomore year. Very disappointed with the way she's come back. She's shown sparks, but sputtered after that, and trained well the other day. Did not get in on Wednesday. Hopefully she gets in Saturday evening at Northfield Park again. We won't be there, so that's a problem, but whatever. Irresistible Sun will come out of the field in another week, I believe. Just getting 3 weeks off. He was a little flat, looked like he might have been a little tired, a little burnt out. I don't think he needs a ton of time off. We're going to give him the full 3.5 weeks and bring him back in, which will be in about another week. La Dorian raced good the other day, a little flatter than I'd like to see her in the straightaways. Dr. Latessa was going to have a look at her. She'll be racing next week again also. Lonely Lakewood is in the sale on Monday for obvious reasons. We just talked about the congestion in that nominals and 4 class. He's been racing good. He was doing well at Northfield. Then we had to race him over at the Meadows where it was going to be a much tougher field. He caught a tough division and ended up third, just beat for second at the wire. Raced good, but again, I want to have the horses racing consistently where they can get in and where they can win. And right now, he's in a little bit of a flux. Lover's Play will begin training again this week. She just needed a couple of weeks off. That right hind start bothers her from time to time. It was bothering her after her last start. We'll probably jog her all week, train her up hard on Friday, and race her next week.
Love and affection.
I can't hear you. You speak up.
Love and affection.
Love and Affection. Love and Affection was going to be in the sale on Monday, but couldn't possibly put her in the sale coming off a break, and that break was caused by me, quite frankly. So I thought it was anyway, and I think she is good. She's going to fit good, and she'll be good in her next start. Marching Fourth was good again. Another decent second place finish for him. Coming off a what is exit are we taking? Newborough right here? No. 0.6 to New York South. All right. These maps are so dumb. Who are you at? Love and Affection, and then who? Marching Fourth, yeah. Good second again. Raced well again, and from post 9. He's going to get there eventually. He's not going to stay a bridesmaid for much longer, but he still is to date for us. Mel Gibbs Swan is back jogging now. Probably jog him about 10 days and start training him. He's at Northfield, back up with Jason and us. We had him ready to go last time. His leg just wasn't firming up as quite as well as we wanted. Still carried some heat. I've just seen this movie too many times. You know, you push, cross your fingers, and it never turns out very well. So opted for a different approach, which was to take your time. make sure the leg is cold and healed up really good and firm, and then start back with him. And that's exactly where we're at right now. Memory and Imagination is off for another week and a half or so. He's been such a good horse for us. Yep. Why? Turned him out for 3 weeks. Him and Irresistible Son went out after we trained Memory. Oh, what happened was we trained Memory.
I'm sure you wrote this all down for me, right?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
I detect a hint of sarcasm, almost rudeness.
I detect they have been begging you to keep track of this stuff.
You've been detecting that, or are you just saying detect in front of what you were going to say?
Don't distract what I was saying.
So Memory Imagination he trained a little flat, but he was already in to go with some real tough customers. So we opted not to ship him all the way down to Corbin. We scratched him and turned him out instead.
Oh, yeah, he's been racing tough all year.
Yeah, well, that's horse racing for you, honey. That's the way it is. Memory and Imagination next.
Mounds for All.
Mounds for All is training now in Ontario. Dominic likes him, not surprisingly. He's a likable horse. He's a good horse. And I suspect...
down there.
What's that?
You train down there.
A little bit, yeah. This guy here is just going fast enough to get stuck in the way. Thank you. He did train down there for a bit, back and forth, but raced really, really well at Northfield his first few starts, and then ended up fracturing his 9 foot. But fracture was so small they couldn't even find it under X-ray. He needed an MRI to find it, so he gave him the time, brought him back. He's fine now. What do we got next? Pickpocket. He'll be in to go next week somewhere. We got a little bit of congestion in that Malmorters class, and considering Pickpocket is very little made last 4, he might find his next start being in a Malmorters class at Northfield Park. Only because also, when we had trained him the last 2 times at Northfield, I was thoroughly impressed with how well he got around the half. So that's likely what we'll do with him.
Pull the show. Oops.
Purple People Eater raced good again. 4th, but a good 4th the other night. She'll continue to bounce around that class, and in a perfect world, she'd get out of that class around December 10th. But we'll see how that plays out. She probably can do just as well in the class above. We'll see how that plays out over the next little while. Ready for landing. Very weird, very odd break. He trotted so quiet, so fluid the other day. We came out of the gate, he was trotting great. And all of a sudden he put this weird step in, like he stung himself or something. I couldn't put my finger on where he would have. And then he kind of lunged for 2 or 3 strides and then came back up trotting. But you know, he was perfect before that. When he made the break, I'm right away. I'm like, all right, put the hobbles back on this thing. And then by the time I finished up his mile, the way he was trotting, I'm like, I just don't see how the hobbles would make it better. I don't understand why he made a break, but he should be much, much better than that. And his qualifier was good. His schooner was good. The horse himself has been good. I'm going to let it play out. He's going to race with no hobbles on again next week. How you make it out? We're ready for landing. Really don't care. I went to train her the other day. She didn't train good. Cantered, acted up. She was sound. She just did not act well. So I'm going to train her again on Monday, and we're probably going to enter her for next weekend at Northfield Park. Tenacious Hanover, much, much better the other day. You guys saw the race. Just screaming on the end of it. As soon as I got him through, it was a tight fit getting through there. And as soon as I got him through there, he shot through right at the wire and was closing hard. And literally feet after the wire, he was long, long gone. Sitting on a big mile. I'm very, very happy to see the way this horse raced the other day.
Time is on my side.
Time is on my side. Is our horse tonight, the Breeders' Crown. He's just had such a tremendous year and been such a nice horse for us. I can't wait to see what Time is on my side comes up with tonight. I know how the race will likely go, and I know that we're probably going to end up with a decent trip. What he does with that will be up to him, but historically speaking, he's been fantastic all year. I don't think that will change tonight. Who? Vehement qualified good the other day. I told everybody I wasn't certain his shoeing was correct. I wasn't sure that he was right, but he still qualified good the other day. I was really, really impressed with the way he qualified, and eager to race him next week at the Meadows. And Watch Your Mouth cut his leg the other day when he made a break. Dr. Rosenbacher sealed it up and is working on it, but it was kind of in a nasty, nasty spot. So he was going to go in the sale, then he wasn't, then he was going to come to Ohio to race. But all of that is put on the shelf right now until we heal up that wound in his leg. Widespread panics in the sale on Monday. It's just a very powerful, very fast horse, but he is a scatterbrain and he makes life really difficult. Now, I can deal with all that, but the underpinning of all the horses that are in the sale, they all have one thing in common. They're not getting in regularly. Widespread Panic was forced to go to Indiana prematurely because he wasn't getting in at the Meadows. That was a disaster. He came back. He won 2 races at the Meadows. Then again, when the stakes were over, couldn't get him in at the Meadows. He just was not getting in. Took him back to Northfield, showed 2 breaks, and that was it. I said, enough's enough. He's a hard enough horse to deal with, but when you're just having bad luck and bad draws and bad classes, quite frankly, with him, I'm just more apt to put him up for sale. And no doubt in my mind that horse will take a good mark somewhere, but it's just bad timing right now for him with us. So Widespread Panic is in the sale on Monday. Those are your 3-year-olds. We'll be back with the 2-year-olds in just a moment.